2018's Halloween is making money by the truckload. It's kicking ass and taking names. But we're going to take it back. We're going to take it way back to 1978 to where it all began. It's a 31-day Halloween horror movie challenge. What's up, Universe, and welcome back to the web's first must-see comic and nerd culture show. Welcome to Comic Universe, guys. I'm your host, as always, C-Dubs, and I'm riding solo on this video. And just as the intro vid stated, we are talking the classic Halloween. Michael Myers, John Carpenter, and Jamie Lee Curtis. Come on, guys. It is a classic. It is a staple of every Halloween. I think everybody should watch it during the month of Halloween, if you will, during the month of October. It's just a complete and utter classic in every sense of the matter. Now, sure, it may be a little mundane in terms of the amount of violence in the movie, especially to this day and age. There are some scenes that are a little dated. Jamie Lee Curtis, due to her wearing clothing of the era, as well as trying to be like a homebody, if you will, she does look a lot older than the age she's actually trying to portray. So there's some things you can nitpick about this film as time has gone on, but there's no denying the cinematography, the score, which was produced by Carpenter himself. I mean, it's just a classic in every sense of the matter. And it's funny because, you know, it is one of the, if not the most important slasher film, if you will. I mean, you can maybe throw Psycho in there as well, that has kind of started the genre. Okay, that unfortunately in this day and age is finding a hard time surviving if it doesn't essentially have one of, you know, your top five stables, if you will. You know, your Jasons, your Michaels, your Freddys, your Chuckies, and I guess Candyman. You know, if it doesn't have one of those slashers in it, your movie's not really, doesn't stand a chance, to be honest with you, in the terms of slasher films. And it's really sad, you know, to that we're here, but hopefully, you know, there've been a few good ones here and there that kind of surprised me. So fingers crossed that the slasher movies, especially now that Halloween has come back and has made a buku amount of bucks, if you will, you know, other companies and other studios will follow suit, and maybe we'll get some remakes, some decent remakes or sequels of some of the other franchises like Friday the 13th, which LeBron James wants to bring back, and I'm all for. Now that Heather Landcamp and Robert Englund both said they'd be willing to do another Nightmare on Elm Street movie, maybe we'll get a good, decent remake or sequel to, you know, a Freddy movie. You know, we also have two Child's Play universes that are going to kind of continue. We're having a remake coming to the big screen, if you will, and they're going to take some big time liberties with it. From my understanding, it's going to be a killer AI doll, essentially. It's a robot, nothing to do with voodoo. But your traditional voodoo Chucky, if you will continue in the straight-to-DVD form, continuing the legacy of the past few movies, which have been connected to the original trilogy, if you will, or the original set of movies, if you will. So we're going to have two of those. So it seems like there is some hope out there. But let's focus back on this film. I mean, again, like I said, the cinematography, the score, the set design, everything about this film is so well orchestrated. The ambiance of the film itself, the fear of not understanding what Michael Myers is or why he does the things he does, it's just perplexing, especially if you are able to watch this film with a 1970s, 1980s lens. If you can take yourself back and just watch it in that, you know, scenario, you get the feel of that movie a lot more than most of the millennials here today probably would. So it's really iconic in that regard. And Jamie Lee Curtis, her role, her acting is top notch. Definitely one of the unsung heroes of horror, if you will. You know, heroes and horror don't go too well together. But if you want to see who our top 10, or I should say at least DPZ's top 10 heroes of horror are, I'll go ahead and I'll link that video at the end of this video, so check that one out as well. But guys, honestly, if you have never seen the original, go back and watch it. And really watch it, study it, because it is a work of art. It really, really is. And I don't want to overhype it, so this way if you've never seen it, you're kind of undersold, because There is some slow moments to it, okay? But you just have to understand the era that they're in. Having some dude just randomly stop his car in the middle of the street because you yelled at him, okay, is a freaky situation, especially if you're just three teenage girls. And to have this dude just kind of pop his head out, or follow you around, that's a big deal. Even today, that's kind of weird, so and then you shove a coat hanger through a dude's eye and he's still freaking coming after you. Man, you shove a coat hanger through my eye, I'm running to the hospital. So you can clearly see that it's not all there. And it's where the whole story begins, where what is he? He is just a force of nature, and he just is a hurricane in the wind, blowing through. And before we got in the original sequel that she was his sister, there was just no rhyme or reason why he chose her. It just was, and she wasn't the one that yelled at him when he was driving by, he had already killed that girl, and why did he go after her? And why did so many years later, if you just want to take the new sequel, which just came out, why did he go after her again? Well, I mean, it could be because she's the one that got away. She's the one that put him away, whatever the case may be. So it's definitely something to think about. Why does Michael Myers do the things he does? And they really did just hit the hammer, the nail on the head, if you will, when he's just a shape. He's a figureless shape just out there in the distance. He's a shadow that goes by. You see him out the corner of your eye and you're dead. The dude is impervious to pain, it seems like. He may have some sort of a healing factor. The dude is incredibly strong, able to lift grown men, okay, with one hand several feet off of the air, okay? He's able to take shotgun blasts. He's able to take hangers to the eyes, stabbings, 9mm. He's able to take revolver shots. The dude was able to be in car crashes, and he just keeps coming and coming and coming. He's like a Timex, man. He takes a licking and keeps on ticking. The Energizer Bunny just keeps going and going and going. He is definitely one of the greatest horror movie villains of all time as well. And then you have Loomis. Loomis brings a great insight to the film. He seems wise beyond his years and absolutely terrified of Michael in every sense of the matter. At every single time he speaks about him, you see it in his face, his body language, his movement, his eyes, the tone of his voice, the way he's trying to convey the urgency to these mindless, stupid cops that don't know any better in town. Okay, and it's just absolutely all melded together really well, and on such a low budget as well. This is a classic that will never die. If they try to remake the original, I don't even think it's even humanly possible to come close. Now, there is obviously a remake, the Rob Zombie remake, which I will review. And I will be honest, I'm one of the very few that actually enjoy that movie. And I do like it to a certain degree. I in no way, shape, or form is it even close to the original. And it does bring up the debate, which I may talk about in another video, nature versus nurture, if you will. But there's something to it. That particular Michael is super intimidating compared to the classic. The classic is terrifying in his own right. But man, he is a monster in the Rob Zombie films. And but honestly, just back to the original. If you've never seen it, you're doing yourself a disservice. If you're a fan of horror, this should have been on your must-to-do list. And I would say probably the number one movie you should watch this Halloween, of course. Okay, but also, if you were to take your top 5 must-watch horror movies, this one would definitely have to be in there. Alright, Universe, let us know in the comments below. Have you seen the original? Did you like the original? Have you seen the sequel that just recently came out, 2018? What'd you think of that? Let us know in the comments below. Also, the Rob Zombie film. Are you a fan? Are you not? Nature or nurture? You let us know in the comments below, guys. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe on this video. And don't forget to punch that freaking bell right in the face, if you will. Just to click it, make sure that you get notified of everything that we drop, part of our notification squad. And guys, until next time, I'm C-Dubs, and I'll see you in the universe. Peace.